Welcome everyone to the Lofi Poli Sci podcast. I'm your host, Michael Pickering. That's right, Lo-Fi as in low fidelity, low quality, in your face, messy as can be global news show. Here we're going to talk about that famous question, what's going on in the world today? And heads up, Lo-Fi listener, it's a China and TikTok heavy episode today. The news, fresh off the press. Source, BBC News, China section. Benny Tai, Hong Kong University fires professor who led protest. In sad news for academics and lovers of democracy everywhere, a pro-democracy activist and law professor at the University of Hong Kong was fired this week for his participation and leading of the 2014 umbrella protest. Professor Tai and other activists accused the university of succumbing to the will of Beijing, further illustrating how the new security law is impacting the autonomy of the island already. We're still with you, Hong Kong. We're still here. Next up, source, Reuters World News. China says Hong Kong to suspend crime-related agreements with UK, Canada, Australia. Over the past couple of weeks, UK, Australia, Canada, and now New Zealand have all suspended extradition treaties with Hong Kong in response to the new security law. And now China is striking back, suspending that and other agreements related to criminal investigations. While all of these moves are to be expected, cause and effects of each other, one implication that is staring us right in our lo-fi faces that no one is talking about. The one group that benefits the most from all these happenings. I'll give you a 5 count to guess it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And if you said international crime syndicates, you are correct. Keep your eyes peeled open. This story is just beginning. Now moving forward, because we never move on from anything. Source, Reuters World News. U.S. Republicans worry China might use TikTok to meddle in election. We discussed a few weeks ago that as the U.S. presidential election approaches, we will on occasion discuss them, but only as it relates to global news, such as this one. Countries abound are coming down hard on TikTok as potentially being a Beijing pawn. Now congressional Republicans join the Secretary of State in their skepticism of how much power the Chinese government truly has over TikTok. We'll keep you apprised of the situation as it develops in the U.S., closer to the elections. Our following story stays with TikTok, but moves to the Middle East and illustrates how other governments, other than China, are using the app in order to crack down on their populations. Source, BBC News, Middle East section. Egypt TikTok, female influencers jailed over indecent videos. Let's clear the air for new listeners so we can all understand the background and implications of this story. Firstly, Egypt, even though it has elections, is not at all a democracy. Secondly, Egypt's government in the recent past has passed a law indicating that anyone in the country that garners a large, yes, I used finger quotes, a large following online, is subject to more scrutiny under Egyptian law. Thirdly, although the government has reportedly cracked down on religious extremism in the country and describes itself as secular, that word secular/non-religious does not mean the same thing that it does here. Now to the story. 5 women in their early 20s were sentenced to 2 years each and $19,000 in fines for, wait for it, indecent videos on TikTok and inappropriate video calls with men. Yesterday I said I would never make up your minds for you, and I don't. So here's mine. The implications? Egypt is cracking down on young female social media influencers who challenge the traditional lifestyle of Muslim women in the country. And for a country that talks about being secular, they surely remain misogynistic. We'll be following this story as it develops more, Lo-Fi Nation. And a last piece of news to send you on your way for the day. Remember how on Messy Monday I said last weekend was Comic-Con weekend? Well, Australia heard the news too with this story. Source, the BBC, Australia section. Deadpool fly among new Australian superpower species creating a buzz. I love sciencey folk that read comic books and name new species after our favorite characters. And what exactly are these superpowers that these new species have, you may ask? One scientist in the article tells us how currently work is being done on the venom of a spider wasp, and how it can be used to treat epilepsy and Alzheimer's. I'm not at all a bug person, people, but we have to admit, that's just super cool. And it's a brief snapshot of what's going on in the world today. Stay tuned for tomorrow's episode of Lofi-Global News. Always remember that Lofi Poli Sci is more than just me. It's the we that we be. Write in with questions or comments to lofipolisci@planetmail.com. Thanks for listening, stay safe, wash those hands, and I'll see you on the next episode of the Lofi Poli Sci podcast. Pickering, signing off.